At WFMD, County Commissioner Kirby Delauter's on the phone. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Bob, what's going on?
It's all about you, man. Are you going to recuse yourself because because you're a builder to tonight's meeting?
Well, I would do that if members of the school board would recuse themselves when voting on the budget. After they had been supported by teachers unions. I mean, I think that's probably the same thing, isn't it?
I don't know if it is or not, but I can understand how you feel.
Why not? You get teacher union money that supports a candidate that tells them, yeah, I'm going to give you a raise when I get elected, but yet they don't recuse themselves when they get to say, well, I did take money from the teachers union when I got elected, and now I'm going to vote to give those same people a raise. What's wrong? What's the difference with that? I'm not recusing myself. I mean, the other caller had a great point. I'm not contracted by anybody out there. I mean, it'd be different if I was under contract to do work for that. Hell yeah, you recuse yourself. Man, I'm not under contract with anything. And if I ever would bid the work, that's what it would be. I'd have to bid the work if I was ever even asked to do the work. So, it's just pretty hypocritical, in my opinion, to have people talking about, who's getting what dollars. I mean, the teachers unions, I mean, that's the biggest hypocrisy out there when they supported several candidates that are going to give them, raises and benefits and everything else, and nobody says a word about that. That seems to be on the up and up.
Well, let me try to quickly go through some things that are concerns with some residents out there. Obviously, the amount of homes, the amount of people will be moving in, and, of course, the biggest concern, which you deal with a lot in your business, is infrastructure. Roads and curbs, water, sewer, things of that nature. The infrastructure really isn't out there. And the amount of money that the builder is supposed to pay, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't seem to be enough to pay for the infrastructure, whether you agree they should or shouldn't.
Well, and again, what you're going to be getting off, you're talking about a 25-year plan there, Bob. This isn't going to happen tomorrow. I mean, whatever's built out there, you're talking at least 25 years. So that's a long time for the county to start drawing tax money off of this project, which is going to allow them to be able to float bond money in the future to do some more infrastructure improvements. And as far as the sewer and water and everything that's on site is paid for by the developer, and a lot of things that are off site are paid for by the developer. Now, maybe all the road improvements? No. And you're right, the previous caller was wrong. The developer doesn't build the school. The developer will give land. The developer will do infrastructure for the school, but they won't build the school. But that really, I mean, with the county collecting impact fees and mitigation fees and property taxes and income taxes, it'd be nice if they paid for something once in a while rather than hired about 800 employees that we really don't need.
So let me, because I remember when Steve McKay was on the program and he talked about the 25-year DRRA. He said, well, what happens if the current person who, the developer goes bankrupt, they file bankruptcy, that makes that deal null and void for the next person, so there goes your 25-year plan.
No, it doesn't. I mean, the county has provisions in that if the next person comes along and wants to pick up that plan, that DRRA would still be in effect.
Okay, so that's what I said when he was here. I was like, well, why doesn't the county just make it retroactive to the next person? Or, what's the word?
The DRRA is to the project, really not to the developer. It's to the project.
Okay.
It's to tell it, and again, who out there, would you take a mortgage? All DRRA is an agreement to say the county's going to do this and the developer's going to do this, and we agree. You meet the APFO. That's what I don't understand. We put everything in place, not our board. Hell, the APFL was put in place by previous boards, and they meet that, and people are still upset. Well, if you don't like that, then change the process. But don't let somebody go through the process, meet all the criteria, and then tell them they're still not good enough, to do the project. And one other point: would you ever get into a mortgage where every 4 years your bank board changes? And they get to say, well, Bob Miller, I know you had a 3% interest rate. We're going to make it 16% because the board changed. That's just what we want to do. You wouldn't enter an agreement like that on a 30-year mortgage.
No, I agree.
Absolutely. It's all a DRA is. It's exactly what a mortgage is. It tells you what you're going to do. It tells you what your bank's going to do.
All right.
Simple as that.
I got one last question, then we got to go because we're out of time, and that is there seems to be a lot of interest in this meeting that's going to start tonight. There is some differences of opinion. I thought it was going to be 5 nights, but somebody told me 3 nights. How many nights are we going to plan on holding public meetings for this?
They have 3 right now, but I think they have 2 more next week for overflow.
Okay.
If it does get to that point. I don't think they're scheduled in stone, but if they need them, they've reserved 2 other nights.
All right. County Commissioner Kirby Delauter, appreciate you calling in.
See you.
Have a great day. It's 8:54 WFMD.